How'd I get on this side?
Do you want to be on the other side?
I think so. I think I like this side better.
I don't know how to. Oh wait. Oh, you can do that. I didn't know you could do that.
You are the tech guy. What do you mean you don't know you could do that?
I'm sorry, I don't know everything.
All right. So basically, we are missing our. Oh, he's texting me now. Hang on, let's see what he says. I didn't get the link. Oh no, send him the link.
Okay.
Oh crap.
Okay. Hold on. Do you know he's gonna join from his phone or computer?
I think it's computer, but let me see.
Tell him I'm DMing it to him on Twitter.
All right. I'm gonna disappear for a sec. Hang on.
As everyone can see, we're off to our usual start here.
The worst. All right, so what's going on is my son had tried to bed and he stole my camera. So I figured I'd come and sit outside on the boat. So I'm always talking about it so much. But yeah, all right. So we're waiting. We got Mac Gaspers tonight. It is funny. Let's see. Oh, you guys can see my shirt. Yeah, you guys usually don't see this much of me, but yeah, I wanted to ask Robbie a whole bunch of stuff tonight, so he better.
Yeah, he's kind of necessary for this episode.
Yeah, he's actually like the link that we desperately need for this one to work. So let me see. How was your week going so far, Rob?
Pretty good. Getting a lot done around the new house, getting stuff up and things unpacked, and we're having our priest over for dinner tomorrow, so we're trying to get ready for that. And here he is.
Yo.
Oh, my people.
Last time you were on your phone. Now tonight I'm on my phone.
Nah, yeah, I see you. You love that boat, don't you?
My boat. I'm missing a drink. Maybe I got something left in the cooler from yesterday. Oh, no, it's Sunday.
What's up, Desiree?
Just as long as it's not like a fish you forgot.
No. Just went out and partied on Sunday. I went wakeboarding Sunday, which I usually don't do anymore because I'm usually the one driving the boat. And I feel like, you know that feeling the first time you go to the gym after like a year of not going, where every muscle in your body hurts and you go to lift your arm, it's killing you. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I get up in the morning. Every day it's a struggle, man.
Yeah, Anthony, I have 2 toddlers. I feel that way all the time.
Right? I had the wife put like some I got these little Japanese little muscle pads. They like about this big, and you can slap about 3, 4, 5 of them on. I was just like, load me up.
Wait, do those flex your muscles?
No, not those. It's just it's like being gay on a little pad, but they about this big.
It's like being gay on a little pad.
That's what I heard. That's definitely what I
heard. Yeah, I guess, right? Yes. It won't cure monkeypox, though. I'll tell you that.
All right. Well, what I will say is there is a live plotline show at 7:30. So we'll try to get all our fun, juicy stuff on in the beginning, and then we would like some of you to go over and check out Plotlines tonight because, they, not that they ever promote our stuff, but we always try to promote their stuff. But no, Robbie, we actually we were going to ask you. You saw that Father Ketar post the other day, right? About the Black Liturgy in Chicago. Did you see that?
I saw a little bit of it, yeah.
And
it wasn't Chicago, it was Alabama.
Oh, it was Alabama.
Like interpretive dance going down the aisle or something like that.
Yeah, yep. and I saw that, and I was like, it was almost like offensive the way he said, like he was telling people to shut up about it, as if like it seemed condescending to me. But I'm not black, so I can't speak for the black community, obviously. But it made me wonder, from your perspective, what it's like constantly having white people tell you what it's like to be black or what you should like when you're black. Like, he's pretty preposterous to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a deep, man. We could go so deep with this, but I keep it 3 foot level.
No. We want the full thing.
We want to go 12 feet. All right. We go 12 feet. Rob said go 12 feet. So, look, being born and raised, like, I was born and raised in a predominantly black community, right, in Detroit. Okay, Detroit is one of the most segregated metropolitan areas in the country. So like when black people started moving into the city, they had this thing called white flight. So all the white people started moving out, right? But then, Detroit started getting really, really dominated by like heavy liberal politics, right? As most major metropolitan areas
every
are.
City.
Right. And so the thing is that it is preposterous because it's mostly these white liberals and, even more specifically white liberal women who tend to have this, and they, a lot of people don't, you really have to be keen to be able to see it. They have this master slave kind of relationship with black people, right? They tend to take on this, like, look, boy, kind of attitude and try to look, we know what's best for you, right? We know what's best for you. You need to do this, and this is what's going to make your life better. And so now, this is where it gets complicated. Black people don't mostly subscribe to the liberal policies as what the media will have you thinking they do. Black people are traditionally conservative, okay? It's just that black people know that the Democrats show up in their community all the time, and actually, even though they're lying, they actually at least are willing to have the conversation, right?
Yeah.
They actually willing to have a conversation. And so they take that at face value. Whereas where we miss the boat on the conservative side is that we don't go into the communities and at least acknowledge that there is still racial problems going on that black people experience, right? And so when black people hear things from the conservative side, like, it's not about race, stop making everything about race. It's like, yo, that's not what we're saying, right? Yes, when I'm driving in some Texas highways, in some Texas communities, I do get looked at differently, okay? If I got to be careful putting my hands in the pocket in some of the stores that I go to because they thinking that I'm trying to pocket some stuff, okay? It's just real talk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where the conservative side misses the boat sometimes is just that they say,
to brush it off like it never happened.
Yeah, no, slavery did happen, okay, y'all, and it was horrible. It's a horrible thing. And no, the Catholic Church didn't do a very good job sometimes at addressing those issues. I mean, we got, some things that we got to handle, and if black people are going to want to have this conversation with the other side. So yeah, man, it sucks. It is preposterous. I'm so tired of sad to say, like, these white liberal people not letting black people be who they are and make the decisions that they know that they can make about their own lives without trying to be this nanny or slave master kind of mentality.
I mean, dude, I'm in construction. So most of my friends are blue collar guys. A lot of the guys at my company are black. A lot of them are Spanish. I find that the deepest conversations I can have about faith are with those guys. Like, I have such surface, like superficial relationships with a lot of the white guys there. The deepest conversations I have are with specifically my friend Curtis at work. And he married a Filipino Catholic girl, and he grew up I think he was Baptist. He grew up Baptist. So, but we've had conversations where I started giving him Scott Hahn talks, things like that. Hold on. I'm actually doing a show out here because Nikki has. Yeah, I'm sitting on the boat doing a show.
In the dark.
In the dark. Nobody can see me. Well, they could before, but now they can't. All right, I'll be in a little bit. I'll come and see you. Hi, Sal. So, yeah, so like the deepest conversations I have with guys like are those guys that I work with. Now, I never understood the idea of trying to put my own like I just would never presume to know what somebody's experience is, you know, where I feel like on the left they try to lump every person's like the black community is a monolith and they all have the same experience and nothing's unique. And where I'm talking to my friend at work, he's married to a Filipino Catholic girl who's a beast. This chick, like she'll, you know, like she's not, you know, she's not shy. This girl, man, like she'll get at you. So I mean, I just hate the idea of putting anybody in a monolith. You know?
For sure. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, that, you know, that's you know, unfortunately, that's where our country's at, right? You know, they want to put every racial group in this big old monolith, and these people act like this, these people act like that, and then it becomes so divisive, and we really can't get to know each other on a personal level, right? Because we haven't had the real conversation yet about race. Okay, it's okay to have that conversation. We can't be scared and shy away from it. A real one, right? Yeah, a real one. Like, exactly.
I'm interested in your actual experience, because for someone to say racist, like, and I do see that on the conservative side, where when they, all right, so look, when we saw Justin Smollett happen, right? Like, immediately I was like, this story's BS. Like, there's no way whatsoever.
Yep. Or Bubba Wallace.
Oh, Bubba.
yeah, with
got a better
ropes, right? Yeah. So it's like there are some that are just so absurd and dumb that you know this is ridiculous, right? But it's like, but that doesn't mean, like you said, when you go into a store, the people aren't eyeing you when you go into a store because you're a black guy. It doesn't mean that when you're dealing with some hick down south that he's not. Like I'm very because I'm in New York, I'm very sheltered from a lot. What are you doing, man? Hey.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? Oh, this is the better half right here.
Here I am.
So much about you.
Finally makes the show.
Yeah. you spooked Anthony.
I'm not allowed to watch it. I'm not allowed to watch anything I do. Stop it.
But you thought she was coming with some hot grits? You thought she was coming with the grits,
Oh, I'm just kidding. I love you.
Yeah.
You totally threw me off completely.
Threw you off the day. But you said it did mean, like, you know, walking into the store, hands in the pocket,
I would never
look, right?
Exactly. I would never understand your actual experiences with stuff like that, you know? Hey, I'm dying to see what everybody's saying in the chat.
I mean, you know, it is, man. It's
this is Anthony, so cute. Now, I'm going to warn you guys. My wife apparently had a drink before.
No, couldn't tell.
So for her to want to come,
she's very introverted.
She's definitely a little buzzed.
Hey, what's up? What's good? What's going on?
We did promise everyone this would go off the rails.
Wheels starting to wobble. No.
All right, so that's Robbie on the bottom.
Robbie and Rob. Robbie and Rob.
Yeah, right.
Law firm soon to open.
Robbie and Rob. We'll have to have Mark teach us actual law.
Yes.
I'm ready.
So nice to meet you.
You're good. I'm going to talk to you in a little bit.
What's going on?
We're talking kind of serious topics.
Oh, sorry.
Come on, get out of here. I'm coming to you. Nicole, like in the middle of this conversation about race. Stop it. We're talking serious stuff here. Come on. I knew this was going to be disaster, guys. I apologize.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
You derailed the whole show.
Matt Gaspers thinks now's a good time for marriage advice, Anthony. Let's hear it.
Okay, so I'd say anything with her in this condition. Are you kidding me?
Anyone ever watch a murder live before?
No!
Nicole, go inside. Go inside, seriously. Come on, you're throwing the whole show off the rails. Not gonna go inside. I'll see you in a little bit. You see what I do? You see why I'm a misogynist? You understand? You just put a little glimpse into why I'm so hard on women. Stop it.
We're watching a Jersey Shore domestic.
22 years I've been having. She is lit. For her to come on the air like that. All right, so my wife just threw the whole show off.
Nah, that's all good. That's yeah.
Yo, I am gonna show her that clip tomorrow. She's going to want to kill herself.
Make sure you clip that and let's post it right to YouTube as a separate clip.
Absolutely. Anthony's wife embarrassed herself.
Just say Nicole's views on race or something like that.
Oh my god, this really took a turn, boys. So we were talking about something so serious.
You were talking about how conservatives a lot of time brush the issue of race under the rug.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Thank God for you. But yes, we absolutely have seen where when you see a story come out, your instinct is to go, yeah, that's nonsense. And I live in New York, so I'm it is a very liberal place where you are just very friendly with everybody. Like I don't know. I guess I'm exposed to it a lot more than the average Midwesterner, right?
Exposed to what more than the average Midwesterner?
More exposed to actually living in a multicultural city. So I'm around majority of I would say majority of people I'm exposed to are not white.
Mrs. Brown.
Oh,
that's Anthony.
You're not going to say some
Hello
thing and embarrass your husband like my wife did.
It'd be fun if you did, though.
His wife just came on.
It was hilarious. Nice to meet you.
No, I mean, I just, support. I wanted to support you.
Yeah. We're going to do a show with the wives one day.
Yeah, we do.
We'll do an actual show.
Yeah, Hope, everybody, yeah. Yeah, it's that's true, man. Me and my wife talk about this a lot. You know what I mean? One of the things is it's like some of the rhetoric, like saying like black people got to get off the Democrat plantation. That's like straight a no-go for many black people, man. They don't want to hear nothing like that, right?
Well, they tried
it's condescending.
Like it was nuts, right? They tried to make it like Kanye was completely insane, but I mean the guy.
Yeah.
I put the wipes in the dishwasher.
Yeah. No, that's right. Yeah, they the thing is, it's like, if you're trying to reach black people, right? If you're trying to hear their story, then you got to come with them correct, just like anybody else, and like saying stuff like, black people already know about the Democrat Party, right? They know about the Jim Crow laws. They know all about that. But what they don't believe is that the Republican Conservative Party is interested in black culture. You see what I'm saying? They want to have black people without the culture, and that can't go down. But see, the Democrats have learned how to at least exploit black culture. You see what I'm saying? Act like they care about black culture or have some interest in it. But see, on the conservative side, I can't go to a Republican convention with my hat rocked to the side like this, right? I can't go in with my Timberlands. I can't go in with my hoodie and be who I am with them. I have to fit a certain kind of persona.
I think that's why you fit in with
good
us,
black guy. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's why you fit in with. No, I'm not even.
And that's like in a lot of Catholic circles too. That I experience as a black man is that, look, I'm not gonna wear a tweed suit, okay? I'm not gonna have the things on my elbows. You know what I'm saying? I'm that's not to knock people who do wear that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's
just
the conversation. The conversation you and I had was like, yo, I'm not going to pretend I smoke a pipe. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, I can't.
Rob looks cool smoking a pipe.
Yes.
I look silly smoking a pipe. You know what I'm saying?
I think you look pretty cool too, but I think a cigar is probably more your thing.
Yeah. See, I can rock a cigar.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll look like Suge Knight.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest. I found that I don't know anybody who hates somebody based on their skin color, but I know a lot of people who hate people based on different thought, right? So having a different ideology, like, I mean, I have family members that don't speak to me because they think I'm, they think I'm a white Christian nationalist or something. It's nuts. It's like,
he said, you might be. No.
I'm not a white Christian. I'm a Christian national. I'm a Catholic nationalist. White has nothing to do with it.
Well, yeah, you're Italian anyways. You're not white, right?
Yeah, I'm not white.
Not at least not 100 years ago you weren't.
Now, fun fact, and on my dad's side, we got black Italians, right? So we got Faustinas, we got shows. So I do have some Italian also running through these veins of mine.
So, Robbie, you mentioned black culture. Mm-hmm. From what you saw of that liturgical dance,
Rob, can you pop the clip up? You have it?
Yeah. Let me find it. Let me find it real quick. Okay. I know the tweet itself got taken down.
Oh, it did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Some people. It was in a news article. It was described as being ratioed into oblivion. It got taken down. Let me see if I can find it. But Robbie, from what you saw of it, did that? Mm-hmm. I mean, do you think that was like authentically black culture in your opinion or your experience, anyways?
No, I don't think that's authentically black at all. In black like churches and like Baptists, black churches, Southern Baptist, you will see that interpretive dance, done in their ecclesial communities. But as far as just something that's authentically black, nah. Now dancing, yeah, you know what I'm saying? For sure, black people will cut a rug on you real quick.
Rob, what's a suburban black parish, Novus Ordo parish? Like, I mean, it's more soulful. It's more like it's more like a charismatic thing, right?
Yeah. You're gonna have drums. You're gonna have more of a gospel style soul music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To in the liturgy, and that's just naturally because in most cases you got many black people who may be converted from Catholicism, right? And so they carry with them that experience. Yeah, they feel like I'm losing all my identity, you know what I mean? Or that there has to be something for which we can authentically express ourselves.
It's more of a, maybe not so much quite a black part of black culture so much as it is like charismatic Protestant culture that they're carrying in.
No, because Rob, if you think of it like this, it's like, look at when Novus Ordo tries to do Christian rock for like a teen mass, right? They do it terribly. If a white Novus Ordo parish tries to do that soul gospel feel, it's going to be terrible. Where if you have a lot of black converts, or not even if they're not converts, man, like you're talking about, there's something about soul music that the black culture, I mean, it is a part of black culture. It just is.
Well, right, but I guess what I'm saying is if you look at parishes like long time black parishes, they're not quite like that. I mean, am I wrong, Robbie?
I don't
mean,
know.
You mean it as far as like
actual established long time black Catholic parishes? I guess I don't know. What was it? Wouldn't have been like that way before the Novus Ordo,
right?
So was that all? Did these generations that practice Catholicism, according to the TLM in 1970, did they just suddenly decide to switch over to gospel music, or do you think it was the converts starting to come in? What do you think it was?
Yeah, maybe a combination of both. Because growing up, like I said, my great grandmother converted from being Methodist to Catholic, and so she brought with her musical, skills and talent that she picked up being a Methodist, and so she was in the choir in the Catholic church. Oh yeah, go ahead, bro.
Because so this is okay. So your great grandmother, your grandmother,
my great grandmother who raised me.
Your great grandmother. This is on your mom or your dad's side?
My mom's side.
Okay, so now what's your dad's background religiously?
He's more I would say Protestant affiliated, more Baptist. So he grew up in the Baptist.
So now your mom grew up Catholic then?
Yes.
Okay. And how was your father growing up with religion? Like, was your father in your life? Was he not? I don't know.
When I was younger, my dad was so in my life. Like I knew who he was, but I didn't. It would be like every once in a while he'll come through. We'll go do something, or he'll take me over my other family's house. And I'll kick it with my cousins and see my grandparents and stuff on that side. So I had a relationship, but it was very meaning very surface.
Sporadic.
Now, yes, erratic. Now we got it. Now we real tight. My pops
really?
now we real tight now. Yeah, we got a tight relationship.
Oh, that's awesome.
We talk all the time and whatnot. But he was a big time drug dealer. Back in the day, he was really in the streets. Really, he was just about that life. So he didn't really come around like that too much. Remember one time he picked me up in a limousine, me and my cousins and stuff. It took us to the zoo, and he was just, he was just that type of guy. Like, he'd pop up and spoil the mess out of you. But as far as like the day-to-day dad stuff, just wasn't there. So I grew up with my great grandparents. My mom was kind of got caught up in the streets too. So that's how I ended up with them, and that's how I ended up going to Catholic school and all the rest.
So, was your Catholic upbringing
largely influenced by your grandparents, then, right?
Well, just my great grandmother. This is my grandmother's. My great grandfather did not go to mass. He didn't go to church. He wasn't Catholic. He would take us to mass. He would faithfully take us to mass. Make sure we had everything covered on that end. But he himself just never I think I remember him coming to mass maybe 3-4 times out of my lifetime before he passed. So he was definitely open to God. He just really had a bad experience, growing up in West Virginia with church, and he was an orphan. Uncle raised him, and this was back in the time when it was just really a lot of racial tension and stuff like that. Yeah,
the rise of the second rise of the Klan, I suppose, right?
Yeah, exactly, Rob. Yep. So he came up to Detroit after high school and started working for Ford, and so that's where he made his life, made his living.
I suppose that obviously the Klan obviously very against blacks, of course, but Catholics were usually the second target. That must have been really hard for your great grandma being a black Catholic. I mean, that has to be.
That was
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, she had a lot of crosses to bear. Just raising us up, like my mom and I, we had an estranged relationship, kind of still do, because I don't really see her as a mother like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just more like, I know she's my mom, but
you don't see her as a mother figure.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, because we had the same mother, like my great grandmother raised her as well in the same household as me, and so it's just really weird, But yeah, it is, we're an island unto ourselves sometimes, and then too, so he was like, well, yeah, I know a black Catholic, it's black, but they from Africa. Yeah, black Africans and black Americans are totally different people. Okay, we don't have the same connection. I don't know anything, even though I have 60% Nigerian blood in me, right? I have no connection to Nigeria. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So
in America, black is more of a culture than
exactly, Rob. Exactly. It is the Duke Ellington, right? It's the Mahalia Jackson. It's the Dr. J yanking on somebody. You know what I'm saying? It's the flavor. It's you know what I mean? It's that, and sometimes white culture doesn't gets, I guess, intimidated by that, because we are loud people, but Italians are loud, right? Yeah. But it's like, when Italians are loud, right? Italian people are loud, you know what I'm saying? That's just how they are. But black people can get loud too, but then it'd be seen as, it's this hood rambunctious, folk, getting loud, but then they'll call the cops on you. You know what I'm saying?
If there's one thing I can relate to each other on, is that we're always considered, bro, you have no idea. I've been a loudmouth since I came out.
He's been on the show a few times. He has an idea.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna ask you, like, how did you avoid falling into the trap of being like the whole trap of being convinced you're a victim, because that is such an easy thing to fall into. It's an easy thing to look at yourself as, you can't get ahead because somebody else is holding you back, things like that. Like, how did you not fall into that?
Well, that's an excellent question, Anthony. That's like, that's a dope question, bro. Here's the thing. I acknowledged that there are barriers placed in front of me. I acknowledge that there are issues and problems and things of that nature that I'm going to have to deal with, right? You have the one side that says, well, don't acknowledge that any of these things are true. Well, that's not true, because if my wife and I go into a bank for a loan for a house, they're going to scrutinize us way more than they are our white counterparts. Okay. Yeah. Chances are that the white counterpart is going to get the loan quicker than we would, right? So there are systemic barriers and things that are put in place to keep Black people down. Now, how do you not fall into just letting that take a hold of you? One, educating yourself, right? You got to educate yourself. You got to get out of your environment. My grandparents sent me to Japan. They sent me to France. I lived in Nicaragua for 2 years. Then I went back to Japan. So I got a world view of things. And then when I moved back to California, my mind opened up. I saw so much. I learned so much about myself. I started really getting into what this American government really is about, how we built on a debt system, how that system is a slave system. So slavery has always been through the course of our country. You have people that just want to acknowledge and say, hey, this is a great country and our founding fathers, and they did the thing. We got to dive into some of that. Okay. Yeah. Some of the founding fathers are cool. Some of them owned slaves though. Some of them were just creationists. Some of them were agnostic.
And all of them hated Catholics.
Yeah, all of them hated Catholics. And most of them were Masons.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this wasn't some country that you kind of think what you taught in school, that they building up this, freedom for all, not for everybody. Freedom, they didn't mean freedom,
especially
for
early on, right?
Early on they didn't mean freedom for everybody. Nah. And it's not, and they got, and one thing white people got to stop doing too is comparing other people's, other cultures,
like generations earlier,
trying to put the Jews went through the Holocaust. Yeah, the Jews went through the Holocaust. Okay, but they didn't go through what we had to go through here in this country. We talking about this country. I'm not talking about what happened over someplace else. You see what I'm saying? Where everybody had to go through. No other race was enslaved like Black people were in the United States.
The transatlantic slave trade was unlike anything in history. It's like, it was unlike anything in history, because there was slavery in the time of Christ and stuff like that, but it was never like the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah, the chattel slavery, right?
Chattel slavery was different.
Yeah, chattel slavery. Yeah,
a slave in the time of Christ, they would almost look at it like a family member. Right, so like they were in the home with them. It was like a family member. Where the transatlantic slave trade was something so horrific.
That's why the church really never saw slavery as inherently evil, because the way it was practiced, largely, like you said, Anthony, that slave had to work for the family, but they often were
treated as a member of the family.
Right, and they often got some sort of compensation. They could own property. They could get freedom, whereas chattel slavery was... It completely took away the humanity, the dignity of the people involved.
Yeah, you saw they actually were saying that these people were not human in order to justify. But now at the same time, you have to see that the founding fathers' documents that they laid out are also what laid the groundwork for the freeing of the slaves, and also to get us on a place where we could have equality. And it's actually being turned inverse at the moment, and it's like it was almost like when growing up in the 90s, it was like I had it almost felt like, especially because white kids in the suburbs idolized hip-hop culture, idolized it. Like to the point where we dressed like the Black community did, we talked like them,
yeah.
It almost felt like we were getting to a place where it was like, okay, like we idolized black culture. So you thought that racial tension was starting to get on the mend, and then once Obama came in, it just flipped on its head, and then you started getting all this woke garbage coming in.
Yeah, these universities have just destroyed young minds. These large, and when I was coming up in school, we had these conversations. We learned how to debate well. We learned how to talk to each other. With dignity, honor, and respect. And even if we had different, views about things, but now it's all emotive. It's all based on how you feel about something, right? And they know how to turn the juice up in people now, right? Because you have so many opportunities to have a device in front of you, right? And then you get these little quick little
dopamine
30-second dope, yeah, on TikTok, on Instagram, Twitter, whatever, right? And so it just begins to shape the person's thought
also
process without having
the victim culture we were just talking about, where now, dude, the real reason you have 30% of kids these days identifying as non-binary is because then they get to put themselves in that victim class, right? And it's like one of the things I admire the most about you is that you don't act like a victim. Like, of course these things happen, of course, and it's almost like Rob and I were actually in a text the other day talking about something that happened in my past, and I don't know if I'm willing to talk about like really what happened, but
that's okay.
I shot the comment. I'll tell you in private, but I don't know if I want the world to know. It was something inappropriate that happened with an older person than me when I was younger, but I never wanted to see myself as a victim. So I kind of just brushed it off like it was nothing. Like it was a woman, by the way. It wasn't
Nasty Nate.
It was a woman. It wasn't a man. But I was a kid. Like, I was a kid. And I never want, like, I think I've made light of it because I just never wanted to be like, oh, this happened to me when I was, I never wanted to be a victim. And, but I also don't think I ever acknowledged it. Like you were saying before, like, really do have to acknowledge these things happen and they do exist. In order to be able to move forward with them. And I think a lot of the issues I have with women probably stem from that. A lot of the,
right, Anthony, you're exactly right. See, that's the other side of things, right? And that's one thing that the black culture is starting to get a handle on, right? Is that what we were taught sometimes about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, right? Well, damn, man, I don't even have boots, okay? Yeah. Let alone the straps. You know what I mean? and so throwing these little, cool sayings out time, you gotta be cool who you throwing to, because that is not everybody's experience. And that's why I say, like you're saying with black culture, right? Black culture influence that's American culture. That's what we're trying to say, right? When black people are trying to say, we want to be a part of this, right? We understand America is a great country. We understand that there's a lot of good here, but why won't y'all accept what's part of us, right? We trying to say that, this is American culture, but y'all want to say like, well, when people have a problem with the black national anthem, but that's American culture. That's a part of the American history. Y'all should embrace that. You see what I'm saying?
The one thing I would say about that is, it's almost like I worry that something like that would divide us more and make us separate. Like, I want us to be one, man. Like, I don't want you to be my black friend. I just want you to be my friend. Like, I don't want that. Like, I want you to be my Catholic brother, not my black Catholic brother. I mean, of course, we're addressing the issue of race right now. And, of course, we're talking about it because first off, I think anybody that, it's almost like the elephant in the room. Like, why would we not address it? Of course, I want to get to know you first off, right? Like, but at the same time, I want us to be united on some. So hear that from your perspective. It's challenging my preconceived thoughts.
Yeah, and I know it's sometimes it's counter to the code, because you feel like if you don't say okay, this is cool, this is part of American culture. If we, hearing the Negro Black anthem, right? Or likewise, right? I'm gonna just throw an artist out there, like Busta Rhymes, right? Okay, I know Busta has a lot of music that has a lot of vulgarity, and stuff like that. But sometimes you got to look past that to get the message of what dude is talking about. You see what I'm saying?
I love
and
Buster.
A lot of times, beyond the fact that this brother got some dope skills, okay? He speaks a lot of truth in what he's saying. Likewise, like Tupac, okay? Tupac spoke a lot of realness in his music. If you really like Brenda's Got a Baby, about teen pregnancy and things, that just go on in the community. Black people trying to express like, yo, this is what's happening inside our community, okay? Yeah. We're not saying it's right. We're not saying that you got, you know what I mean? But if you want to know what's going on, this is what's going on. And we know that to be the case is because many suburbanite whites will never come into the community and see what's going on. They just think if they say this is fake news.
By the way.
Yeah, KRS-One, right? SoundCloud Quest. I mean, Brand Nubian. Yeah. But if you invite them to come to the hood, they're not going to do it. They just satisfied of getting their news about black people from the same news they say is fake news with everything else, but they believe that black people are like this based off the same news. Do you see what I'm saying?
I also think if you don't get out and talk to people, right? Like if you don't have a conversation with them. So some people have a caricature of black people in their head because of what they see on TV, because of things they where if you don't get out and just have a conversation with somebody, you're not going to know.
You're not going to know, right?
Yeah, you're not going to know.
Yeah. You're just scared, right? Like, oh, this person go rob me because that's what the news says. Black people dress like this and talk like this. That's how
I'll tell you right now, bro, I walk through the city. I fit in so well.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I can tell you. You real. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody ever looks at me like a white boy in the city.
I'd like to have someone follow you with the camera and actually prove that.
Yeah.
I want to see if that's true.
For sure, and that's what I'm trying to bring to the Catholic community too. I'm trying to share like authentic Black culture with the Latin mass community that my family and I are a part of, right? And so it's where they kind of understand, like, because a lot of these people ain't never been around Black people, okay? They just haven't, you know what I'm saying? and so they experience is like, sometimes a deer in the headlights, or is it they're afraid to give me a piece of watermelon. I eat the watermelon, man.
Everyone eats watermelon, right? I mean,
yo, how funny is that? Somebody's afraid to give because they don't want to come off like that.
Yeah, they want to come off. We know. Yes, they did make shady cartoons with black people eating watermelon. Okay?
Listen,
black people do like watermelon.
For a reason. So, black people like grape soda. Women can't drive.
Grape soda.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
It's
Rob about done now.
So Robbie, Popeyes or Chick-fil-A?
Oh man, goodness. I have to go with Popeyes for the getting that crunch, that nice, drumstick or a good breast. But Chick-fil-A, if I want to, what I'm saying, I feel like Chick-fil-A, I'm moving into like the suburban area. Popeyes gives me hood
how are you gonna
chicken.
Ask the black guy what fried chicken like that? First off, the only correct answer to that is you go to Popeyes, get the chicken, you go to Chick-fil-A to get the sauce.
Oh, you get the sauce? All right.
What sauce? What sauce at Chick-fil-A? The Polynesian?
Polynesian is good. But oh, you talking about just a regular ketchup and mayo mix, boy?
It's not ketchup and mayo. It's something else.
Oh, it's not.
No, see, I'm a Raising Cane's guy.
Oh, you're Raising Cane's. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. For sure. That's nice. Y'all got a Zaxby's? Where y'all at?
No. I've been to them down in the South, but we don't have them here.
What's it called?
Okay.
Zaxby's.
Nah, I never even heard of it.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Tennessee was the furthest north I've seen it.
All right. Now, so, oh yeah, can you get the video up, Rob, or no?
No, I never found it.
You can't find it.
Yeah, they took it down.
Well, it wasn't even so much the video. Like, all right, listen. So, I think what Rob was getting at before is that didn't seem like an authentic black.
It wasn't gospel singing or soul dance, soul or anything like that.
Right. It just seemed like
LARPing. It was bad ballet.
It would have been like me going in with that patches on our elbows with a light hat with the monocle on. Like it just that's not. It didn't look natural.
We should get Robbie something like that for Halloween.
Yeah, I go
to Halloween as a trad, as a white trad.
I gotta grow the beard out, right?
But yeah, no, like it didn't seem like an authentically black experience. It just didn't.
It's not. You know, in many cases, it's not. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's the truth.
And then to watch Father Keytar dismiss. Like I saw 4 or 5 black traditionalists in there.
I think David Gray even himself commented.
It's like, what are you saying? Like I'm not cultured enough to experience the traditional man? Like it was almost like condescending the way he said it. It was like, you know, I mean, especially like all right. So I kind of brought this up the other day. If you watch, there's a great documentary about Saint Francis,
the Sales,
not the Sales, Xavier, Saint Francis Xavier, and he goes to Japan. Right now, they had to allow certain things from Japanese culture, proper enculturation, into their liturgy because it was too foreign. It was almost like you can't separate European culture from the traditional mass. Like it's Catholic culture and European culture.
It's the Roman, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's Roman in nature.
Exactly. So it's just like, but also the West is who evangelized the world, right? Like it wasn't the Eastern Church that evangelized the world. It was the Western Church that evangelized the world. And it was because the Roman mind was able to put enculturation properly and bring certain elements in while baptizing those elements and not converting them. So it just seems like if we did that properly, it wouldn't be a problem. But when you're sticking this interpretive dance crap in, that it didn't seem like anybody. First of all, everybody there was over 65 years old. There was no young children.
And it's always the case. Always just old white people. That's
most
white people.
Half of the people in that video were older white women, honestly.
Yep, with the short haircut or rainbow dye hair. That's just you know, and these like it gets on my nerves. It gets on my wife's nerves. It gets on my nerves, and I'm like, yo, like they want to come up and touch my kid's hair. You know, when my wife doing them or ask them, you know, it's okay. Yeah, they're braids. Okay, yeah. Can I touch your hair? Can I touch your hair? You know, and it's like, yo, man, like we're not freak show. You know what I'm saying?
Do white people really come up and ask to touch black people's hair?
Dude, I'm a white guy with curly hair.
You got a little black in you, Rob.
So I've had my hair described quite often by black people as nappy. But you're right. Older white women like to touch my hair, and I hate it.
I bet you do, bro. Like, yo, like leave me alone. But I don't have none to touch no more, all right? But when I did, you know what I'm saying?
You had hair last time I seen your head, no?
Nah, bro, like that's gone. Yeah,
he's had a hat on the whole time.
The Lord gave me a permanent haircut. That's it.
Yeah, man.
But yeah,
Enoch
it is.
Isn't Enoch? What rite did he go to before? Like he's going
Syriac, one of the Syriac rites.
Right? Okay. Oh, really quick. Enoch invited my cousin out for cigar night the other night. I heard, and Enoch, thank you so much for being kind to my cousin moving down. He really, it's alone down there, and I appreciate you guys extending the olive branch to help make him part of the community down there. It's very nice.
So with Enoch here now, I guess maybe he can comment on this. But Robbie, you were talking about how hard it's been for most of America to accept like the Black national anthem and stuff like that. And I've seen it. Enoch being a traditional Catholic and putting out traditional Catholic rap. So many other traditional Catholics seem so hesitant, if not downright hostile, to that sort of art and music, even though the lyrics themselves are as traditional as they come. I mean, why do you think that is?
Oh man, that's real good, Rod. Um,
And I know like
yeah.
Tim Flanders is big into like music theory, and he's
Hmm.
not a fan of what he calls like shamanistic type of beat and stuff
Right.
like that. But that's way more deep into music theory than I
Hmm.
know anything about. But I mean, why do you think there's like a almost an instinctual visceral reaction from trads
Because
against?
I think trads are pearl clutchers.
Oh
I
It,
yeah.
do. I
it,
think
it
trads are
feels like
pearl
it comes down to
clutchers.
that, right?
Yeah,
It
it
does
feels like it
feel like
does come
that.
down to that. Yes, and some experiences, right? Like my son, he's the only black, altar boy up there, right? You know what I mean? It's uh, for many of these people, I get it. They haven't had that type of experience of really being around black people for a long period of time or in their community, right? They see them
Yeah.
at church, maybe, or they see them, when they're going out, but they don't have that deep community build with them and being able to be right, like being invited into the home, right? Being part of seeing how their family is run and what their likes is, what the dislikes, how the family moves and operates. And then so most of it is like, yeah, you right. They have a visceral reaction to it. And I think they're scared because it's like they feel like it's going to overtake them or it's going to push their stuff to the side, you know what I mean? And they feel threatened by it. Oh, you on mute, Ant?
I think what. Oh, I'm on mute still. You
No,
hear me?
you're good.
Mm-hmm.
You're good.
Nah, now you
Okay.
good.
I got some
So
more
I
black
think
licorice because
I think what Enoch is doing is very similar to what we're doing, except he has talent. But aside from that, what I'm saying, what my point is that I think it's important that we build culture, especially for the younger generation, where they see that we're not LARPing as this thing that happened in the 1940s and 50s, and we're not like we are authentically ourselves, but we love the traditional faith, we love the traditional liturgy, but we're still ourselves. We're not trying to
Yes,
bring back
yes,
time past. Like I look, let's like you don't have to be some uber nerd to be a traditional Catholic. You can just be
right.
you, love the faith, love the
Amen.
ancient liturgy, and still right. I mean,
Right,
it's
and that's what I'm trying to school some of the traditional Catholics on. Like, look, y'all, y'all trying to go back to some of y'all trying to go back to a time that ain't coming back no more. Okay,
never,
God made us for this
never.
time. Okay,
Yeah.
He didn't. We got to leave that time where that was. Okay, and God made the people to live in that time and to fight the battles that needed to be fought. And that's that time. This is now. This is we can't. I'm not going out with a scythe. Okay,
Yeah.
cutting grass like this. I'm not doing that, y'all. Okay, and I am still in love with the traditional Catholic mass. Okay, I'm not sitting here with a wooden stove. My wife ain't going down for nothing like that. My kid, I'm bruh. Okay, like come on,
That's just
y'all.
yeah. It's not
I'm not
realistic.
wearing suspenders. Okay, I'm not
Yeah.
going out. It's only so much I can do. Okay, I'm growing. I'm growing some little vegetables right there. Okay, I got some vegetables going right there. All right, all right. I'm trying. Okay,
I'm
but
so
some of
impressed.
us ain't. All of us ain't farmers.
I'm
Okay, all
so
of us
impressed
ain't
that I
got
got a
that.
fig tree. You have no idea. I got one fig tree out here. I'm
I
like,
thought
yeah,
you said it
my fig
was
tree.
not growing.
No, that's
Your
Jason's.
fig tree ain't
Oh,
Jason's.
growing.
that's
That's
Jason's
bad
fig
news.
tree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jason's
oh,
isn't growing. Mine's about to. Mine's about to
do
blow
this.
this time.
Brick said,
Do
"Do
the
the
same
scythe."
thing.
Oh, that's the dance move now. Do the scythe. Do the scythe. Do the
I,
scythe.
I
Do the
tell you,
scythe. Do the scythe.
I tell you. Listen, my wife's gonna get mad if I stay out here, and she's obviously a handful tonight.
Okay, yeah. Now you
We're
had
gonna
that
wrap
spaghetti
up.
incident. Oh no, not spaghetti incident. You had the food incident
Yo,
where you. All right,
I would
you
like to
walking
do
on
this
thin
once a
ice.
week. I like.
Spaghetti incident. Is this a racist comment against the Italians?
I mean,
I love all Italian stereotypes. Don't worry, but yeah, I'd like to try to do this once a week with you guys and just shoot the stuff. I
yeah,
mean, I don't know.
yes.
I was saying before, everybody's like, "Why'd you name it triple octave?" I'm like, I just thought that name sounded cool. Three of us, triple optics.
The
Got to start
triple
buying
optics. It is. I kind of like
The
it.
triple out. Yeah, it's got a nice little ring to it. All right, before y'all dip though, like Trump getting indicted or not indicted, I'm gonna throw that out there.
All right.
They're
Go ahead, Rob. You go first.
they're gonna have to. It seems like they're doing this to try to use the 14th Amendment to prevent him from running again. So they're gonna have to, if that's what they're doing, they're gonna have to indict him.
Okay. Now you tell me a scenario where, and you can take Trump out of the equation. Let's say it's Hillary Clinton. Give me a scenario where either of them could get a fair trial in this country.
None.
It's impossible.
I don't know if we've had a fair legal system for 100 years.
You could never get any kind of a fair trial ever. It would be impossible. A Democrat.
This is one thing that the black community tried to warn on for a long time.
You know, and I've in the last 5 years I've come around to it so much. It's unbelievable.
COVID completely switched me, and I'm all about defund the police now. Seeing the pastors get locked up, and seeing them arrested.
Yes, I'm telling you, man. You know,
I'll tell you what. Give us everybody a concealed carry permit and defund the police. Let's go.
And then do it. Oh yeah, it's corrupt, yo. It's corrupt, man.
It's terrible. Yeah. Listen, and like you were saying, like I'm going to tell you a story. You want to see? I'm going to tell you an experience I watched racism happen growing up. Me and like 9 of my friends in a car, we get pulled over. I got one black friend in the car. The cops, they're harassing us. We're all out. They search the car. They find an ounce of weed in the car. They throw the black kid in handcuffs with nobody else.
What? That's crazy.
No joke.
It was yours, wasn't it?
It was mine. I swear to God. And when I saw that happen, I admitted to it because I was so mad at him throwing my one friend in the handcuffs. I went, officer, it's mine. That cop wrote me a ticket. They didn't even arrest me.
Wow.
And was going to lock the black kid up when he didn't even know if it was his. So maybe it says it doesn't exist, and that cop brings it.
Yeah, they just not being honest.
They are. I've never met a cop I like, except like in personal life. But like, I've never been pulled over by a nice cop. They all suck.
Is that how we're gonna end this show?
Oh,
really?
Black Lives Matter.
Man,
cut
that's
that clip
dope.
Yo, this is a fun time, man. I enjoy it.
So before we go, if everyone can like and subscribe, that'd be great. Yeah. Also, if anyone still wants to be on YouTube for a while, go head over to Connor's Plotline stream. He's with Jason and Mark from Tradman talking about Texas Catholicism. So that should be fun.
Yeah. Oh, Enoch likes the triple optics thing, bro.
Yo,
you got anything else going on, Robbie?
Nothing right now. Maybe spinning up. My wife and I on David's channel, we were doing a little some content called Catholic on Both Sides, right? A little play on Black on both sides. So Catholic on both sides, okay. Right? So we just did like 2 shows, but I was in school, so it was just crunch time, so I had to step back. But we may be spinning that back up again, and but yeah, that's about it from me.
If you ever want to put something on this channel, you have free reign, brother. So,
for sure.
If you and your wife
appreciate it.
You want to do something alone, if you want to do something with me and Rob, just
I'll get you a login for StreamYard, show you how to use it, and it's simple, man.
Sure. Oh, dope. That's love. That's for real.
So,
and this would be no trivia this week. What's the name of the book that you're in again, Robbie? This would be a good episode to talk about that on.
Black
traditional Catholic and Black.
Yeah. Traditional Catholic and Black. Yep.
Edited by David Gray.
Yeah. Yep. David. Yep. Yeah. Big ups to David. Yeah. He's.
I'll throw that in the. I'll throw that in the description. But I loved your part in it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. My wife.
It's a beautiful story.
She did. Yeah, she did an amazing job, and she's like really growing in the homeschooling community now. She just did a podcast with the big homeschooling people who put on the national conference every year. She was a speaker for them. So just trying to she has a lot to share, especially as a Black Catholic mother of 4 and what it's like to homeschool All these kids with, some of our kids got some challenges. My son has narcolepsy. I have a daughter that has a slight learning disability. And my wife juggles all of that, and she's advocated for them. And if they were left in school, right, these kids would have gotten fallen in between the cracks, right, because they don't have a special love, and I'm sorry to say, in schools a lot of times, for black kids, black kids don't have access to certain resources that other kids have, and so many of these kids go 12.
12.
He's 12. Yep.
What do you guys think about our next show doing on how to keep our kids Catholic, like how to raise our kids and keep them Catholic?
I honestly, as a father of younger kids, would love to get advice from you guys on that. That'd be great.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's
maybe
real.
Maybe we'll do that next week.
Yeah. That's gonna be one of our prerequisites, right, fellas? The Lord gonna look at us. Hey, what you do, what you instill into those kids.
We're gonna be judged on that. That's for sure.
100%. It's one of the scariest.
Yeah, it is.
My judgment is.
Oh no, Aunt, you hanging on the string now? No, I'm just kidding. That's one of my favorite groups. I love Loose Ends.
I would assume Luminous Motha here is talking about the idea for next week's show about keeping kids Catholic.
Luminous Mother.
I think that's a good one.
I think so too.
It's a great topic for next show. Yeah, Enoch, we'll let you know when we're doing it. If you're free, you're welcome to join us. We'll throw the invite out there. We'll see what everybody's schedule looks like. But guys, this was really fun, man. Rob, thank you for coming. Rob, thank you.
As always, thank you, brother. All right.
Okay, I'll take us out with an outro.
Rob will take us out.
Yeah, have a good night, everyone.